The Savage Angle Podcast. A podcast of no direction, unfiltered, raw. Your host,
Hey guys, happy Tuesday and welcome back. It's been a great little vacation. I had to take some time off, clear my thoughts on what I want to bring back to the show, so to speak. But it's great to be back to the show. Welcome to the Savage Angle Show. My name is Mike. I'm the host of the show, and we got a lot to talk about on today's show. A lot to talk about. I want to get into a lot of things on today's show. I want to get into some stories that are basically buzzing the headlines. Want to talk about just about a lot of different things. We'll talk about the coronavirus. We'll talk about some Trump news and the crazy far left. But other than that, welcome to today's show. Today I'm doing my show from Florida. I'm actually on another kind of vacation again, but it's for some job training and staying in Florida. I tell you what, man, it's a hell of a lot warmer here in Florida than it is in Georgia. Oh man, what a treat! What a treat! I came here earlier this morning and the weather, what a difference. 80-something degrees versus, 20, 30 degrees in Georgia, freezing and just miserable. I mean, what a blessing. What a blessing to live here. Such a beautiful state. But yes, the Savage Angles basically broadcasting from Florida today. In sunny Orlando, Florida, to be honest with you. But want to talk about some things. I heard from the grapevine that the government's saying that they may have a lead to a cure or some type of vaccine to the coronavirus. A lab being done here in Massachusetts. I mean, that's great news. It's great stuff. It's great to hear stuff like that, when, such a terrible disease. I mean, now we have four reported deaths so far in the states. One from Washington State and a few from over in the East Coast. So, this stuff, guys, you gotta, you can't take it lightly. You can't listen to these Democrats saying, don't worry, it's like the flu, everything is fine. Just stay away from, people that are sick and this and that. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Pingman. Ping on that. But, it's definitely, it's definitely a disease to be taken serious. I mean, this is, it's affected a lot of people already. It really has. And, We'll be getting into the coronavirus, but with that being said, folks, like I said, got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today on the show, a lot of stuff. But I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back after this quick commercial break, guys. Don't go anywhere. And if you do decide to go anywhere, I don't know what else to tell you, but we'll be right back, guys.
Hey guys, if you're out there trying to find something natural for your body, you're getting tired of taking medicine, or you're just not one of those, pill popping type of people, try hemp. What is hemp? Hemp is very natural and it's great for your body. It's known to help people with Alzheimer's, epilepsy, seizures, just about everything. Headaches. I mean, it's very natural, folks. And it's becoming very popular as well, too. The hemp industry is suspected to grow in the next 10 to 20 years and it's growing right now at a tremendous rate. What I would recommend is try HempWorks. HempWorks, you could find it on just about everywhere on the internet. If you just Google HempWorks, that's HempWorx, and mention that you heard this from the Savage Angle podcast. Don't forget to tell them that the Savage Angle sent you. And you're going to find some great products, folks, with HempWorks. I have HempWorks products at my house that I use, and I'm telling you what, folks, it's a great company, and they supply great natural products. And they stand by their guarantee as well. So if you're out there and you want to find something new, something natural for your body, log on to HempWorks. You're going to love their products, folks.
All right, folks, back to the show. Guys, we're talking today about the coronavirus and how deadly it's become. I mean, we in a little bit here, I'm going to play a clip here on the president here. Trump's going to talk about just basically, I guess, how to avoid or try to avoid any type of scenarios you might come across, and just how serious this disease is, folks. We got a sound bite here. We're going to play clip number 3.
Mr. President, thank you very much for coming to the NIH today. We really are very pleased with your visit, and I want to just again thank you for your support of everything that we've been doing in this obviously very important problem. What I've asked is just first to have Francis Collins, our director, just make a couple of comments about the NIH in general, and then I'll talk to you about some of the things that you and I have been talking about for the past few weeks.
Good. Thank you.
Mr. President, welcome to NIH. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you, Francis.
Even though we are in fact faced with a very serious public health situation, we have a lot of people here that are working hard on it and are honored by your presence.
Thank you.
And honored also by the presence of the Secretary, my boss, and a wonderful boss he is indeed. Maybe I just quickly say who else at the table so you understand who we're with here. Starting over here, Dr. Barney Graham, who's the Deputy Director of the Vaccine Research Center, and that's where we are right now. Next to him, Dr. Kitzmika Corbett, who is the front line on the bench making this coronavirus vaccine happen. So wonderfully talented young scientist in our midst. You know Dr. Fauci, of course. Next to him, Dr. John Mascola, who's the director of the Vaccine Research Center. And next to him, Dr. Larry Tabak, who's the principal deputy director of NIH.
Good.
And we are all thrilled to have you. I just want to say a word about NIH because we haven't had the privilege of having you with us before, and just to sort of set the context for this remarkable institution supported by your administration, the largest supporter of biomedical research in the world, the National Institutes of Health. We distribute most of our funds, more than 80%, to institutions all over the country. So when you hear about a breakthrough in medical research that happened at the University of Illinois or Florida, it was probably supported by NIH. We use the most rigorous peer review system in the world to decide what we're going to fund. And we do everything from fundamental discovery to clinical trials and everything in between. You could say we do Alzheimer's to Zika or A to Z or some version of that. And we also support infrastructure that makes it possible at a time like this to be able to move rapidly in terms of developing a vaccine. And you'll hear more about that from Dr. Fauci. But a major component of NIH, though it's only about 11% of the budget, is the intramural program. That's where and we have been graced by his presence for many decades, and he is exactly the right person to tell you what we're doing right now about coronavirus and how we're going to address the need for a vaccine in order to tackle this really difficult problem. So thank you for being here. I hope that's helped us.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Again, thanks again. I just want to connect what we've been talking about over the past few weeks. So if I could just get see this slide here. Remember when I mentioned that the fastest from the time that you get a pathogen, you know what it is,
right,
to the time you do a phase 1 trial for safety. So look at what's happened
when SARS was in 2003, from the time we got the virus to the time we did the first phase 1 trial, remember, that doesn't mean you have a vaccine. It means for safety. It was 20 months. Then H5N1 influenza, we got it down to 11. H1N1 influenza 4. Zika 3.25. And now we believe, as I've told you several times, it's 2 to 3 months. I think it's going to be 2. So that kind of thing is what this place is way back in 2003. Someone from China went to the hotel, infected a bunch of people. Next slide. And this is what you had. You had flights going. I've seen the incredible job they did on the Olympics. As you know, they're building a facility. It's really finished. It's beautiful. It's finished right on time, as usual with the Japanese. The Prime Minister, a very good friend of mine, and Prime Minister Abe. And so I don't know what they're going to do. They have this magnificent facility, and I don't know what they're going to do, but they'll make the right decision. I know that. But yes, if it was necessary, I would do it. Yes.
What's your timeline on further travel restrictions, Mr. President?
Well, we're looking at different areas, and we'll make that decision with these professionals. We made an early decision based on a little bit of luck, I suspect, but that was the original decision on China itself. And China, in all fairness to them, they never blamed us. It was, a tough decision for them, but they fully understood. They were very reasonable about it. But that was a hard decision to make. But I guess we would have had a lot more people with difficulty if we didn't make that decision very early on. But we'll be making additional decisions as they arise, I guess, Tony.
All right, guys, I'm going to stop it right there. You've heard some bits and pieces of it. That was Trump that attended the national coronavirus briefing with top health officials and other people in that room as well. Just basically briefing over of what's going to happen in the coming weeks, in the coming months, with this deadly virus. And it's good to hear the president talking. It's good to hear, what he plans on doing with this disease, this virus. He's not backing down from it, folks. He's not giving you that two-sided story. He's not saying, everything's gonna be fine, folks. This president, folks, he's not an Obama. He's not an Obama. He sure as hell isn't a Bernie Sanders. Which I'll get briefly into the show later on with the show here today. But he's not a Sanders. He's not a communist. Trump is a realist. He says what's on his mind, and he's very serious. And all his concern is, his priority, folks, is protecting the American people. That's all his priority is. That's all it is protecting the American people. But these other clowns in Washington, the sewer, the swamp, these other clowns, these far left destructionists of what I call them. I don't call them Democrats. I call them destructionists. These destructionists, they're not talking about the coronavirus. They might say something like, yeah. Everything's fine, folks. Don't worry about it. We'll be all right. We're going to take the correct precautions. But they're too damn worried about power and getting the White House back under their control and turning this country into a socialist country, which is going to be very, very terrible for the American people. With that being said, folks, I want to step aside from the coronavirus, right now, and I want to talk about other things. I want to talk about how Biden is picking up endorsements as Trump holds a rally. I want to play a clip here with that. And basically, Biden is picking up endorsements. We always thought it was going to go towards Sanders. But, it's kind of back and forth. It's like a 50-50 type of thing. So I want to play this clip here. This clip number 7 here.
Day 1138 of this Trump administration. That leaves exactly 246 days to go until our 2020 presidential election. And really, in just a matter of hours, voters in 14 states begin the process of heading to the polls for Super Tuesday, while at the same time, the Joe Biden campaign has been more or less reformed. Tonight, something the former vice president has craved, the support of his rivals, Buttigieg, Klobuchar, O'Rourke, all in Texas, all through their support behind Joe Biden.
He is somebody of such extraordinary grace and kindness.
And empathy. He will bring the exact kind of empathy that is so badly lacking in this White House.
Joe Biden has dedicated his life to fighting for people and build that coalition of our fired up Democratic base. And it is fired up as well as independents and moderate Republicans.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, March 3rd, 2020, I will be casting my ballot for Joe Biden.
Oh, shut up. Shut up, Joe Biden. Another guy I can't take serious, Joe Biden. Why doesn't anybody just get their acts together and take Grandpa and bring him back to the senior center? Alzheimer's, Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe. Everybody come to call him. Take him back to the senior center. He's not making sense. When he talks sometimes. It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. And what doesn't make sense is the Democrats accusing and they're politicizing this coronavirus and they're calling it the Trump virus. Oh boy, you got to listen to this. You got to listen to this. This is clip number 9, folks.
Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus. They are politicizing it. We did one of the great jobs. You say, how's President Trump doing? They go, oh, not good, not good. They have no clue. They don't have any clue. They can't even count their votes in Iowa. They can't even count. No, they can't. This is their new hoax. But, we did something that's been pretty amazing. We're 15 people in this massive country. And because of the fact that we went early, we could have had a lot more than that. We're doing great. Our country is doing so great. We are so unified.
Yeah, the country is doing good, folks. It's doing remarkable. Like I said in earlier shows and podcasts on my platform here. This country's on steroids. The growth in this country, I've never seen it in my lifetime. I think we have the strongest yet powerful U.S. economy in its history. We're back on the map, folks. We really are. We are. The numbers are there. They're accurate. They're up there. All these crazy people today. The economy was good under Obama, and he brought jobs back. And this, oh yeah, he brought back jobs. When did that man ever bring back a job? He was sending jobs overseas more than bringing back jobs. When did he ever do that? You want to praise this Obama like he was the top-notch president. In my terms, in my views of Obama, he didn't do jack shit for the country. He didn't do crap for the country. All he did was he put more people on food stamps, more people on welfare, more people in public housing than anything else. Anything else, They should investigate Obama on the crimes that he's done and stop accusing Trump on every little damn thing that he's doing. Russia, Ukraine, Mueller. It's stupid. It really is. It's the most idiotic thing in everything. It's just it really is. It's like a bunch of school children. I've said this before, time after time. It's a bunch of school children in the schoolyard, that want to complain and this and that, and they want to blame Trump. Folks, Trump, it shouldn't be the eye of attention for every little thing. Every little thing. Oh, you're not feeling good? Oh, it's because of Trump. Oh, you're not making any money? Oh, yeah, it's because of Trump. Yeah. I got a flat tire. I'm stuck on the side of the road. Why? Because of Trump? Did Trump cause you to have the flat tire? That's what the rhetoric, that's what the vision of this country is today. It's sick. It's crazy. It's crazy. It really is. You know, and most of these people that are complaining are people that are, you know, they're Bernieites. I call them Bernieites, you know, Sanderites. You know, that's the type of vision that this guy Bernie Sanders and the rest of the far left crazy communists of Democrats is visioning America. You know, oh, it's okay, free, and that's what Obama threw down our throats for 8 years. 8 years. 8 years he threw down our throats, you know, with the whole free scenario. First of all, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something right now, okay? Nothing is free in this country. The only thing that the government don't owe you a damn thing. Doesn't owe you a damn thing. They don't owe you a job. They don't owe you food stamps. They don't owe you public housing. You know, everybody else might think they do. Oh, it's fun. Sure. I'm going to have food stamps. I'll live off of somebody else. You know, somebody else has to get up off their ass and work for a living and bust their rear end for a lazy bum that doesn't want to get up off their rear end and sit on the damn couch, eat bonbons, and watch Netflix and Family Guy and all those other shows. They don't want to get up and they don't want to make a living. Well, I got news for you. Get up off your ass, get a job, and get to work. Get to work. Stop making excuses for everything in life and go out and get a job. Get a job and work. With that being said, folks, we got a lot more to say onto the show here. I'm going to take a quick little break and then I'm going to be right back. So don't go anywhere.
Savage, uncut, unfiltered, raw. I don't know what the hell people are always complaining about. You know, I do a podcast and they never know when to, you know, just shut their mouths and let me talk. I mean, you know, this is the Savage Angle. This isn't your rickety-dickety, 1980s or 1990s talk radio show. I say what's on my mind. And, you know, folks like that.
Alrighty, guys, back here, back to the show. I'm not going to take any more breaks. I'm going to be basically closing out the show here. That was the last little break here on the Savage Angle. I'm going to say a couple more things towards my closing. Couple things we got to watch out for the debates. The Super Tuesday today. I tell you what right now, Biden is in trouble. He's in trouble. You know why he's in trouble? Because he's desperate, folks. He's desperate. He knows that the disadvantage everything. You know, he has such a disadvantage over Sanders. Sanders has the advantage over Biden. Sanders has more support from. And here's the thing. Here's the thing we have to watch out for today. We got to watch out for a home state advantage. We got to watch out for swing states. We have to watch out for minority groups. We have to watch out for the establishment of the party. You know, what does the party want to go for? Who do they want to choose for their nominee to go against Trump in November? You know what I mean? I mean, do we want this communist, socialist agenda through Bernie? I mean, they're all socialists. They're all communists. They're leading that way, folks. They're leading that way because, you know, they want to see America back to the whole, you know, free. We're going to give you this. We're going to give you that. Oh, yeah. Then you got Bernie Sanders saying, we're gonna raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour for all Americans, all able-bodied Americans that can work for a living. We're gonna give you free health care, and we're gonna give you this, we're gonna give you that. It sounds great on paper, folks. It does. But when you look at it, you know, $15 an hour minimum wage, right? The national minimum wage, they want to raise it to $15 an hour. Okay, yeah, that's $31,000 a year, $600 a week. Sounds great, folks. It really does. But when you start raising minimum wages in states like that, you know, that's when everything goes up. You know, then you know, everything goes up. Your taxes, everything gets, you know, it doesn't. it makes sense for somebody that's always made that low minimum wage their whole life. It does. It does. It makes sense to those type of people. There's a lot of people that work their ass off every day of their life. They bust their knuckles open. They get dirty every day. They make a living. Okay, they come home and then they do it all over again. They make those low wages. But some of these people, they've probably been doing this for the last 20, 30, 40 years. They've never seen their wages gone up over 15, even $20 an hour. I feel terrible for those people. But you know what? We have industries out there that pay those low wages. Folks, I mean, this is America. You climb up that ladder and you get to the next thing in life, and you keep on reaching for more goals and more ambitions and stuff like that. If you stay low, you're always going to be low, and that's my angle, folks. That's my angle on how I see a lot of different things. I started low on the totem pole. When I first got out in the working world, when I was 13, 14 years old, part-time, little part-time job after high school, you know what I mean? Working in the movie theater. And then, you move on up. As you get older, you move on up. You always want to see yourself moving up. You never want to move down. If you're going backwards in life, folks, you're not achieving those goals. I mean, that's just common sense. That's common sense. But, there's a lot of things, back to the debates and the Super Tuesday today, there's a lot of things we have to watch out for. We have to, like I said, we got to watch out for home state advantage. We have to watch out for the swing states. We have to watch out for political angles such as these Democrats. What kind of message do they have for the American people? What kind of promise can they deliver? I mean, these Democrats right now, they're trying to find their guy, or their woman. There's a couple women, on the ballot. They're trying to find that next person, that can be strong and go against Trump. They had Hillary in 2016. She lost. She didn't have the energy. She didn't have the stamina against Trump. She didn't have all that willingness to compete against him. He had the upper hand, and that's why he won. And there's a lot of other things too he won off of. You could talk about, conspiracies. You could talk about the emails. You could talk about the Clinton campaign. You could talk about all that stuff. You could even talk about her calling Americans deplorables. I mean, this party, folks, is it's just not, it's not to be taken serious anymore. It really isn't. It's not to be taken serious anymore. I mean, these people today, these leaders, these democratic destructionists of leaders, they have no angle whatsoever. They lost the message for the American people. And when they lost that message for the American people, folks, the American people lost respect. And, I've known a lot of friends, okay, a lot of coworkers, a lot of, neighbors that just basically, they pulled themselves from that Democratic Party and they went to the Republican Party. The Republican Party offered so much to different types of people, different groups of people, different ethnicities, to the black communities, the Asian communities, the Latino communities. Trump, he offered a lot of help, a lot of support, and he's fulfilling his promises. When did you have a president ever that's done that? It's been a long, long time, a very long time. And, these Democrats are, they're desperate. They're pulling all different angles, folks, all different angles, because they need that person. They need that guy. They need that woman to fight against Trump in 2020 in November this year. They need that. They need that because I'm telling you right now, folks, if you look at the polls and you look at the numbers, the establishment, the so-called establishment, guys, it's coming. It's striking back. It's striking back because they got this new thing now. They're using the coronavirus and they're politicizing it. They're politicizing it and they're blaming Trump for everything. And you know what, folks? That could be a really bad downfall for Trump. It could. I'm not, I don't agree on a lot of different things he does, but there's a lot of things I do agree on with him on terms and policy wise. This could be a very, very downfall, but that's something we got to see in November. Are we going to see a turnaround? Are we going to see a one-term president? I have no idea. But I sure as hell don't want to see Sanders in there, because if we see Sanders in there goes your country, folks. There goes your United States of America right down the crapper, and we're going to be living worse than we are under Obama. We're going to be in a hell of a lot bad shape. There goes your jobs. There goes your economy. There goes your low taxes. There goes your good paying jobs. There goes everything. Right down the crapper. We'll have to start all over again, and it's going to get worse, folks. It really is. Folks, that's my angle. That's my message. That's what I'm sticking to. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and we'll see you on the next one, folks. Thanks a lot.
Savage Angle. Follow on Facebook, The Savage Angle Podcast. Also can be found on Spotify, Google, Apple, and anywhere you find your podcast. The Savage Angle Show. Subscribe now.